Today's presentation is on AI assistants. So firstly, what is AI, which stands for Artificial Intelligence? In this day and age, technology is at its highest level of efficiency and popularity across the world. Technology has impacted us in so many different ways, and one of the very big and important sectors that it has helped us most is in artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is intelligence demonstrated from machines, meant to mimic the natural intelligence that humans and animals possess. It is an increasingly common type of technology seen in products such as robots, even some children's toys, as well as AI assistants. So next, what are AI assistants? These are also known as smart assistants and are basically a voice-activated search engine, which can play music and even more. You can ask questions to it, give it commands, and it will respond to you. All you need is internet connection. There are large companies that have created AI assistants in order to benefit us with hands-free technology. To start off, here are some examples of AI assistants. Some very well-known versions of this product include Siri, Cortana, Google Home, and Amazon Alexa. Siri specifically is designed by Apple for iPhones and is accessible on every Apple device. Cortana is similar to Siri, but it is specifically for Windows devices, and it is most commonly found on HP laptops. While Alexa and Google Home aren't installed in devices, they are like portable speakers that you plug in. We will be touching on each of these different types of examples of AI assistants in this presentation. Now I'll be speaking about smart speakers. So to firstly start off with Google Home. Google Home is made by the very well-known company that most of you are very familiar with, Google. They are available at stores like Best Buy, Walmart, and are sold for around $100. The Google Home Minis are smaller as well as quieter due to their smaller size, and their price is closer to around $50. Google Home are voice activated after you plug them in to an outlet in your house. And you can activate them by saying, "Hey Google," and then they will activate and be ready for any questions or requests that you may have for it. As you can see in this small image to the left, this is kind of a representation of what Google Home does. It's a small speaker, but then it can connect you to many different things around your home. Next is the Amazon Echo, which is typically famous for Amazon Alexa. The Echo is basically Amazon's version of the Google Home. It can come in multiple different sizes. As you can see in this photo to the left, here's a very small one, there's a thinner one that's a bit taller, and then a larger one. And Alexa is the AI that lives inside of the smart device. Similar to how Siri has a name, this one is named Alexa. Prices range from around $50 to around $130 and can be purchased from stores such as Best Buy, The Source, Walmart, and Amazon, of course. They're also voice activated once they are plugged into a power source and respond to the prompt, "Hey Alexa." Now I will be going over smart speaker functions. Specifically with a Google Home Mini or an Amazon Echo, you can do many different things, including play music on Spotify or another music streaming platform, ask it to conduct Google searches on the internet, it can locate your phone for you, set alarms, you can ask it for the time or the weather or the news, you can make calls, play white noise or other sounds to help you fall asleep, as well as set reminders, and much more. You can see all of these different options included when you research more about the product if you're going to buy it. You can decide which things that you think are most important for it to be able to do. So for example, you can see this image on the right here. It's an example of how it works. So this person is asking, "Alexa, call Brad." and it's able to then call them and call Brad's iPhone. Next, the pros and cons of home AI assistants, as it's important to see both sides of the positives and the negatives that can come with this kind of product. So to start off with the pros, it is very easy to use. It provides you with reliable information. It is great for multiple different uses. It is good for when you get bored. You can simply say, "Hey Alexa," or "Hey Siri," or "Hey Google," and you can always access it unless they are unplugged. And then there are a few cons that come with these products as well. And firstly, that they are a bit expensive. They can be a bit confusing and frustrating to set up sometimes. They do depend on Wi-Fi connection, and they also sometimes are not able to pick up your voice. So now there are also pre-installed virtual assistants. So firstly, Siri, which many of you may be familiar with, but it's all right if you're not. So Siri is a virtual assistant for Apple users in particular, and it is automatically downloaded on any Apple device that you purchase. You have to have Hey Siri activated in settings in order for it to work by oral activation. So similar to being asked, the Amazon is being asked by saying, "Hey Alexa," you can say, "Hey Siri," if you activate it in settings, which I will be showing in a live demonstration later on, but make sure that you have this feature activated in order to orally activate it. And it can make recommendations, answer any questions that you have, and perform actions by delegating requests to a set of internet services. Siri can provide multiple types of services ranging from answering simple questions like "What's 10 plus 10?" or it can even tell jokes and play simple games such as trivia with you. Now, how to activate Siri on your Apple device. In order to enable Siri, all you have to do is go to your settings and then go to the Siri and search category, and then click on Enable Siri. In that settings tab, you can also change the tone and accent of the voice. And after you have Siri enabled, you can activate it on Apple devices, using a home button by holding the home button for a few seconds until Siri activates, and then speaking your question or command. If you do not have a home button because you have one of the newer models of the iPhone, you would just hold down on the side button that is on the top right-hand side. So as you can see in the screenshot here, this is taken directly from an Apple device's settings. And once you go into the Siri section, you can see here this red outline box says Enable Siri. So once you click on this, you'll be able to have Siri work and you're able to interact with it and ask it things. And then you can also change different things such as the language, the Siri voice, the feedback, mic input, and keyboard shortcut, which makes it easier to access it. But I will be going over these things a bit more in detail in the live demonstration as well. So this is another screenshot from an Apple device, specifically an iPad or an iPhone, rather than the previous one was from a computer. So once you're in settings, you would go to the side menu bar, and you can see all of the different options. Specifically look for Siri and search, and it has this rainbow colored kind of galaxy-like icon that you can click on. And then once you click on that, you'll be able to see the different options for Siri, including turning on Hey Siri. And then you can also choose how to activate it, and then a few different other customizations such as the language, voice, feedback, my information, and then some other options about suggestions that Apple has. The other option is Cortana, which is for Windows devices rather than having Siri on Apple devices. So if you have an HP laptop or a Windows laptop, then you can activate this rather than having Siri. And it has been developed by Microsoft over the past few years, and it is pre-installed on Windows laptops and can be activated by voice. It uses the Bing search engine in order to answer any questions you may have, adjust your settings, manage your schedule reminders, and do even more. So this is an alternative for other devices that don't have Siri, but it works in a very similar manner. How to activate Cortana on your Windows. To activate Hey Cortana, you have to go to the search bar in the bottom left on your computer and locate App Settings. From there, click Enable. Another way to do this is through the Settings app, and you would simply type in Cortana into the search bar, and then from there you click the Enable switch. So here's a screenshot from a Windows device, and you can see that they have gone into Cortana, and then this is where you get to customize different things about the app. Here's a screenshot from a Windows computer, and you can see here that they have its own section for Hey Cortana, and then you would just see here, you can say, let Cortana respond to Hey Cortana, and then you would just flip this switch to on, and then it'll be able to. And then you can also turn on your keyboard shortcut, which allows you to click on the Windows logo key and C at the same time, and then it'll activate it as well. So there's two different ways you can activate it, through voice or through keyboard, and you can turn those on and off whenever you feel like it. Next, security and privacy. The AI assistant is hooked up to your personal Wi-Fi network in your home, which only people you choose are able to access it through the password. You can also link the device to your phone or tablet or mobile phone to increase the security. The information that you enter into your device may be stored. So this is why we recommend that you read the associated privacy policy to find out what information is collected and why, just to make sure that the only things that you're giving them are necessary, and if you're maybe a bit feeling uneasy about what you're giving to them, you can understand why. And then you can also see how to update, manage, delete, and export it from their own storage, so you can understand more about what they're doing with your information. And for the Google Home, you can review and update your Google account setting at any time you choose to share it with your assistant. And then if you have security concerns, you can mute the microphone when you're not using it. And then review and delete voice recordings, disable personal results, and turn off your device when you're away. So this allows to make sure that all security is completely controlled, and you make sure that nothing is out of your control. Next, here are some tips for using smart assistants. Firstly, it is very important that you speak clearly and loudly so that it can pick up your voice. And it is a good idea to avoid whispering or mumbling, just because speaking clearly allows it to identify what you're saying more easily, and then your results of what they say back to you will be what you want it to be. It is also recommended that you connect your preferred music streaming as your default music player to make sure that if you're ever playing music, you're getting exactly what you want. You can also add a payment method and delivery address to be able to make voice-activated purchases, though this is definitely a personal opinion whether or not you feel safe doing so, and it is not required. You can change the name that your device refers to you as, and if you want to custom traffic information related to your commute, you can save your home and work locations using the device. And you can also set it up so that it only recognizes your voice and does not respond to others. So maybe this is a good way for you to feel more secure about any information you tell it, but again, anything that you choose to provide information to the product, you can always make sure that it's only as much as you're willing to give. Also, you're able to hook it up to other smart devices in your house and use it to control them. So for example, you can hook it up to your lights and TVs. And for example, if you had an Amazon Alexa, you could say, hey Alexa, turn off the lights, and it would turn your lights off. So if you connect it with other devices in your home, it is a more holistic experience that you have with the device. So now some alternative AI assistant apps. Firstly, there's Google Assistant, Bixby Voice Assistant, Hound, Jarvis Personal Assistant, Lyra Virtual Assistant, and also Robin. So there's a bunch of different options that you may want to try out if you're not feeling happy with Cortana or Siri, but there are also the ones that we explain in the presentation that are great. So now we'll be moving into a live demonstration. And firstly, I will be going over how to actually purchase one of the products, and then I will also be demonstrating how to activate Siri on a Mac device. So to start off, this will be purchasing a Google Home Mini. So one of the stores that was mentioned in the presentation is Best Buy. And in order to get to this site, you can go to bestbuy.ca or bestbuy.com, depending on where you are. And then you're able to just go to their homepage. For simplicity, I've already searched it up just to avoid any loading time. But the way I got to the Google Home Mini devices is by just typing it into the search bar at the top and then clicking on this small search icon here. From there, you can see all of the different results that they have relating to the Google Home Mini. So Google does have a few different types of devices. For example, they have the Google Nest Mini, which you can see here, and different types of AI assistants. So you can scroll down and see all of the different options, and you can also see different reviews that people have left about them, which is really good to understand if you want to buy the product. So as you can see here, this has a 4.5-star review, or just under 4.5 stars, and you can also read them as well. So in order to get into this product, you would just click on it, and then from there, there are a few different options. You can firstly see the price. This is on sale, which is great, and it ends today. So if you are interested in this product, then maybe this would be something good for you to go check out. And then you can also choose the different colors available. So there's chalk, charcoal, coral, sky. So say if I wanted to buy the sky one, I would just click on it and then simply click on add to cart once it loads, or if it's not in stock, then you won't be able to. And then you can also choose to pick up at store as well. From there, you would just check out by entering all of your information, and then you would be able to have it sent to you or go into the store. As well, there's another option, the Amazon Echo, which is also known as the Alexa. And you can simply get to this by going to Amazon, and you would just search up Amazon Echo or Amazon Alexa, and you can see that many of the products come up as it is one of their own products. And you can see different options that they have for these kinds of AI assistants. But if I wanted to purchase the Kids Echo, which is also a very cool new option that they have, you would simply click on the product, and then you can add it to your cart. You can look and read different information about it, and then there's different options as well. You can see related products. And this one even says the time on it, which is cool. And you can just read the different things that it provides and see customer reviews as well by going here. And then you would just add it to your cart when it's in stock. So next I will be going over how to activate Siri on a Mac computer. So what you want to do this is find the gears setting icon in the bottom toolbar of your device. And then as you can see, this is my settings. And you're looking for, again, the Siri icon. So you can either just find it by looking through here and finding Siri, or if you're having trouble, you can always search it up in this bar and just search Siri. And then it'll highlight where you should click. Then by clicking on that, you can see all of the different Siri settings that are available. So firstly, the most important one I want to draw your attention to is enabling Ask Siri. So this will allow you to turn on or off Siri. And then if you want to enable it, you would just click on the box so it gets checkmarked. Then it's letting me know that Siri sends information like your voice input, contacts, and location to Apple to process your requests. So it wants to see if you're allowing for it to have access to this information about you. And if you want to review the Siri privacy policy, then that would be a great thing to do. Or if you already read through it and you're comfortable with activating this, then you just click on Enable. And from there, it is now activated on your computer. So firstly, it wants you to make different specifications. So if you want to have a keyboard shortcut to activating it, you can select which shortcut you have. So you can either turn it off, so if you're clicking buttons on your keyboard, then it doesn't activate anything, but you can also choose to click on the hold command space. So if you hold the command and space bar at the same time, it'll activate Siri. Then you can also just hold option space as well as another option, or you can click on function and space. So whichever one's easier for you to remember, you can select that one or you can turn it off. Then you get to choose your language. So mine's in English, but there are many different ones available, as you can see here. And then I've chosen an American female accent for their voice, but you can even turn on British, an Indian accent, an Irish accent, any of the options that they have provided. And then there's also different genders, if that matters to you as well. And then I have my voice feedback turned on, and there's also Siri history as well. And then there's also the option to show Siri in the menu bar, which you can enable or disable. And this will allow you to activate it by clicking on the Siri icon in the bottom toolbar of your computer. So that's all that I have for the live demonstration and the presentation, and now we'll be going into breakout rooms for further questions.